So welcome everyone. My name is Seth Parker. I'm here with Kevin McDonald, and we just wanted to take a few minutes of your time. I know you guys have expressed interest, and there's a lot of people from different backgrounds in this webinar today. I know some of you are recent graduates. I know some of you are maybe people looking to do a career shift into the tech field. Some of you might be just looking to get some information about the industry or looking to expand your hireability in the tech field. And so that's kind of what Kevin and I want to talk to you a little bit about today. Kevin is from CompTIA. And so Kevin, do you just want to tell them a little bit about, who you are, what you do, how you operate, and what we're going to be talking about today?
Sure. Thank you, Seth. And I want to thank Skillstorm, which is a new partner with CompTIA this past year, for having me on this webinar. My name is Kevin McDonald, and I'm finishing my 13th year with CompTIA. Based in the Washington, D.C. area, I support a wide range of government agencies, companies, and many others that are trying to fill their IT workforces with qualified folks to be able to do all manner of IT work. And happy to be here with you today.
Great, perfect. And for those of you who don't know me, my name's Seth. I've been with Skillstorm for a while now, and what I do at Skillstorm kind of just depends on the day, I think, but I help operate a number of different programs from people, over all walks of life. Some people are looking to further their career, and they've already been in the tech field for quite a while, and they might have masters and PhDs and just looking to further their career, or we talk to people who are just looking to get into the industry for the first time and just looking where to start and just need some guidance. And so regardless of what hat I wear, I just try to help people get into the career field that's their dream field. And so try to help remove whatever barriers that they might have to getting into that field. And that's pretty much the role that I do at Skillstorm. And that's the same role that I'm doing here today. So we're going to talk to you a little bit about CompTIA certifications, and Kevin's going to explain a little bit about what those are and how they can help accelerate your opportunity in the tech industry. And then I'm going to share a little bit about how Skillstorm can come alongside of you and help you obtain those certifications and increase your value and your hireability and the profitability and all that great stuff.
Okay, and let's get straight to CompTIA, and just a very quick introduction. Some of you may know us, some of you may have no idea what the heck a CompTIA is. It's an acronym for the Computing Technology Industry Association. Okay, we've been around for almost 40 years, and we do many things. We're the Global Tech Industries Trade Association. We do many things to try to grow and develop the global IT industry, but in particular to professionalize the IT workforce. And we do that in a number of ways. One of those ways is, over the past 30 years now, we have been creating and publishing and supporting IT tests, IT certification exams, okay? Do that in lots of ways. Seth, if you can move ahead, please. Okay. We're the organization that works with great might to move the tech talent forward, okay? Folks, whether the economy is strong, whether the economy is weak, there are always an IT skills gap out there. There are always many well-paying, solid jobs in tech that go unfilled because there are not folks who have the experience or not folks who have the skills. CompTIA certifications, and we're going to focus on 3 of them here today: CompTIA A Plus, CompTIA Network Plus, CompTIA Security Plus, go a very long way to helping many every year to get starter jobs in IT. So you know us, these are our values, okay? We're a very welcoming organization, very much focused on advocating for IT in many ways, many shapes and forms. We do that based from a Chicago suburbs headquarters. Our footprint is large here in the US. Our footprint is growing increasingly internationally as well. We have substantial offices in the UK and Japan, growing across Europe and also in the Pacific Rim. just some of the different ways that we do it there. We're pushing 3 million IT personnel certifications across CompTIA A Plus, Network Plus, Security Plus, and others that we've issued over the past decades. Over 150,000 each and every year successfully train and test to earn one or more of our certifications. Okay? So you might be asking yourself, well, why bother? You know, I mean, why do I need to pursue and get an IT certification to do? Go ahead, Seth. There are many benefits, many benefits to earning certain IT certifications that are out there, and specifically CompTIA certifications. Okay, we've had third-party research firms look at this for many years. The reality is that if you come into an organization, you want to do some IT service management work for them, if you can show them that you've had the discipline to go study for and successfully test and earn your CompTIA A Plus, once you're hired, you're more likely to get promoted more quickly. You're twice as likely to just get more promoted over other IT workers that they might have on staff that haven't gone the route of earning certifications. Okay, you tend to be able to contribute greater value to an employer in a tech role if you've taken the time, had the discipline to go and earn that certification or certifications. Seth? Okay, so why CompTIA certs? Why us? Understand something about what our certification courses are about. They are vendor neutral. And make that distinction to compare with vendor specific. Okay, vendor neutral certs from CompTIA they show you the entire landscape in each and every niche of tech where we have certifications. Okay, compare with vendor specific certs, and there are certainly some of those out there from the large technology providers like Cisco Systems, which still today owns a very good market share in internetworking with their routers and switches. It may make sense later in a tech career to go vendor specific and earn vendor specific certs. Most who come and successfully earn CompTIA certifications, they start out with our vendor neutral view and earn, for example, CompTIA Network Plus to get a full view and wide and strong foundation in networking and internetworking before later in their career they might move on and decide to go vendor specific with certs from the network vendors like Cisco, like Juniper, and others. Okay, so you get the full landscape. It makes it easier for somebody who's gotten the full view of vendor neutral certification courses to be able to move in between technologies, because they didn't only learn the Microsoft way, they didn't only learn the Cisco way. Okay. Also, CompTIA has been creating these certs, as I mentioned, for 30 years. We create ISO and ANSI accredited exams, very high quality. Hard to do. We employ a bevy of people. They've gone to college and earned degrees in how to create true tests. It's quite a niche skill, and they have that. So CompTIA certifications, they're recognized globally in the tech industry for certain job roles as something that is either recommended that you have, or often in many situations it's required. If you want to do this type of tech work for us, we expect you to have this CompTIA certification or that CompTIA certification. Seth? Okay. Well, let's quickly go through what we're talking about with CompTIA A Plus, Net Plus, Security Plus here. So next. Okay. Folks, I just want you to focus here on to the left, okay, with core skills certifications, because that's what our interest is here today. With CompTIA A Plus, then I'll speak about Network Plus, then I'll speak about Security Plus. Okay. Next. Okay. So why pursue CompTIA A Plus? What's it about? It's next year will mark the 30th anniversary year of CompTIA A Plus. So it'll be 30 years next year that CompTIA published the very first version of CompTIA A Plus. If you want to be able to do IT service management work, Okay, don't get hung up on the job title, because across the economy, across different portions of the economy, different jobs can get called different things. But folks who do IT service management work, folks who do IT field work, field service technicians, folks that work on a help desk in organizations, very common. They're often encouraged to go earn their CompTIA A Plus, because CompTIA A Plus is about all the basics of technology. Hardware and software, yes, that's what's traditionally been. But today, because workforces are so mobile, workforces are often hybrid in the post-pandemic world, you have to know a good bit about mobile devices. You have to know the basics of networking, right? You have to know the basics around virtualization, even cloud computing. And that's all that is in the CompTIA A Plus course today, right? So there's also a very good focus, not just in CompTIA A Plus, but in all of our certification courses around troubleshooting, okay? So it's not just a knowledge transfer that goes on when you study for CompTIA A Plus or Net Plus or Security Plus. There's also a healthy bit of hands-on, okay, let's troubleshoot, where we'll give you a situation where something's not quite right or something needs to be built or put together. You will get the training to understand how to break fix, how to put things together, how to take things apart, troubleshoot, put things back together and make things work. That's a big part of CompTIA A Plus, right? Seth? Okay, so next I want to move on to CompTIA Network Plus, right? This is a vendor neutral look foundationally at computer networking, internetworking. And what the heck is this all about, okay? You will get more out of CompTIA Network Plus, folks, if you started with A Plus and build a really strong foundation, really understand foundationally all the pieces of technology. And if you do that, you'll get much more out of CompTIA Network Plus. Starting with the OSI model, and how do networks come together? How do I connect to networks, right? How do we connect other networks, so forth? What are the protocols? What are the basic implementations? Network operations, how does it work? Because security is so important today, cybersecurity in technology, there's also a good chunk of the curriculum in CompTIA Network Plus around the foundations of network security. Have to have it. And then a good chunk of troubleshooting, hands-on work. Okay, so that, again, it's not just knowledge, okay, but it's actually teaching you, helping you, giving you the confidence throughout the course so that you can understand how to do all of these networking basics. That's CompTIA Network Plus. Okay, Seth? And then finally, we want to talk about CompTIA Security Plus. Okay, there's a website that I'll talk about a little bit later that tracks all of the cybersecurity jobs, okay, that are in the US today. We, as a country, employ almost 1.1 million people in cybersecurity jobs across the US today, okay? That's the good news, all right? Other news, though, is that there are another over 700,000 cybersecurity jobs, posted jobs today, open and available, that are going wanting. They are going unfilled because there aren't enough people who have their CompTIA A Plus, their CompTIA Network Plus, their CompTIA Security Plus to be able to step into those job roles, okay? So CompTIA Security Plus, for those who want to strike a path into cybersecurity, somebody who maybe has as a goal a cybersecurity specialist, a cybersecurity administrator, okay? Again, the job title can vary quite a bit, but somebody who wants to build a strong foundation, understanding network cybersecurity, that's what CompTIA Security Plus is about. Next.
Kevin, we did have a question in the chat. The question is, do you find that most employers cover the cost of the first attempt for recertification?
For recertification?
Right. So I guess the question would be, you know, when the certifications end up expiring, do you find that employers cover the cost of the recertification?
Yeah, that's a good question. And so let me first explain. Others listening might say, recertification. What are they talking about? Most CompTIA certifications, when you sit and pass the exam, are earned for 3 years from that date. Right? And then there are many things that you can do during that 3-year recertification period to earn what CompTIA calls CEUs, okay, CompTIA education units, continuing education units, okay? And if you earn enough CEUs and report them in within the 3-year recertification window, you renew and extend that certification that you have for an additional 3 years without having to retest. Okay. However, if you're at the end of the 3-year recertification period and you've done nothing to earn continuing education units, you can, if you choose, retest on the then current version of the certification exam that you want to maintain currency in. Okay. And if you pass the exam at that time, you have earned the certification, you extend your window for an additional 3 years from that date. Now, it entirely depends on your employer and what their policies are, okay, around certification and recertification. And so ask your manager, ask your HR training department for what those policies are. I will say, particularly here in the Washington, D.C. area where I'm based, and particularly in U.S. federal government work, particularly on the DoD side of federal government work, very often one or more CompTIA certifications are required to keep your job. Okay, if you're doing something in cybersecurity information assurance, particularly in the DoD side of the U.S. federal government, but also in many other companies in the private sector, they want you to maintain your CompTIA Security Plus certification or other CompTIA certifications. And in those cases where you have to maintain currency in the cert in order to keep your job, in almost all of those cases, the employer is happy to reimburse the cost of the exam voucher for you every 3 years, if that's the way you're doing it, to take your exam again to recertify. But check with your employer. Ask your immediate supervisor, ask your training department for what the policy is there. One other comment that I'll make about CompTIA Security Plus, you'll see in the lower left corner there around top Security Plus job roles. It used to be, and just a couple of years ago, that folks who they had a target towards earning their CompTIA Security Plus, it was because they wanted to become a security administrator. That was pretty much it, or you know, a systems administrator. And one change that we have seen in the past handful of years is that more and more who are not directly security administrators, security managers, more and more of them, but they work tertiary IT job roles or tertiary cyber job roles, all right, that rely on or sometimes work with those whose jobs are more 100% cyber. Those folks are now either being required or recommended, hey, you're having to deal more and more with cyber issues, get your Security Plus and keep it current over time. We want you to know more about it, make it more directly a part of your work role and your responsibilities going forward. And so that's why you see in the lower left corner there, just a broader range of job titles that are now very typical of folks who are training for, preparing for, sitting and testing and taking our Security Plus exam. And I'd like to show a quick web page from CompTIA's website.
Yeah, sure. Should be all yours right now.
Because a lot of folks, particularly if you're thinking about IT, you've never been in IT before, and maybe you don't have anybody in your immediate family that works in IT. You don't any friends perhaps that are directly working in IT, and so you're not really sure what IT is about, or you know, Kevin, I'm hearing these job titles, these job roles that you're mentioning. Well, what's that about? So this is a place you can just go to, and we'll put this URL in the chat here. You can just go to CompTIA's public website, CompTIA.org, and this is our IT career paths roadmap. And you're gonna, well, what everybody wants to know is, you know, if I'm gonna pay for this course, I'm gonna sign up for this course, I'm gonna put this time into these courses, what do IT support specialists do? What do IT networking specialists, what is that? And what do they get paid? What are cybersecurity specialists? What's that about exactly? And what do those folks get paid? You can find all this information right on our website. Okay, I'm gonna just take you down. Here's exactly what a cybersecurity specialist does. Okay, and what do they get paid? What's the job demand like? And those are annual numbers there, folks, by the way. Okay, so pursue your A plus. You know, and we have many who they don't just stop at A plus. They do A plus, then network plus, then security plus. Okay, and in this economy, you know, and more and more people think, by the way, more and more people every day, the economy is weakening. Are we going to go into a recession in 2023? I've been working with CompTIA now 13 years, and I'll just repeat it again. Weak economy, strong economy, it does not matter. Okay, the demand for so many in IT is very strong, whether the economy is weak, whether the economy is strong, it doesn't matter. There are just many jobs, but you need to have people that have the right skill sets. CompTIA A Plus, CompTIA Network Plus give you those skills. Okay. I want to mention one other thing while I have this page up. A common question that we get from folks that are grazing, they're kind of querying, looking, should I try IT? Is this something that's for me or that I could do? You'll see there that another certainly, you know, significant type of IT job, IT work that's out there are coders and programmers, right? The software and web developers. CompTIA certs do not take you in that direction, okay? But many people say, whoa, wait a second, wait, I'm no math whiz. You don't have to be a math whiz. There are many types of IT jobs, IT networking jobs, many types of cyber jobs out there. If you got through middle school math, folks, honest to God, if you can add and subtract and multiply and divide, and I'm betting that just about everybody that's on this call right now can do that. There are tons of IT jobs out there ready and waiting if you can just earn a cert or two. Okay. Further, there are a lot of folks who, just really because they don't really know, and they think, IT work, I can't code. I could never be a programmer. Okay, so it's true. It is absolutely true. About 10% of IT jobs involve programming and coding. Okay, about 1 in 10. And those are not the jobs we are talking to you about today with CompTIA certs. Okay, those first three you see on the left, IT support work, IT networking work, cybersecurity work, CompTIA A Plus, Net Plus, Security Plus. That's all you need. With no coding, okay? No programming there, I promise you. There are programming jobs, coding jobs galore, that's for sure. But those are different, and those are not what CompTIA certs concern ourselves with. Although down the road we are working on such things, so maybe in future years, maybe. But often a couple of misconceptions there around what IT work really is about and what it isn't about. And so I just wanted to dispel those as part of it. So Seth, why don't you take back? And I know you have a couple of slides.
I appreciate you sharing a little bit about how CompTIA operates. So we actually had 2 questions asked that you answered, which was, if I'm not a really big math person, is this an industry that I can go into, which you addressed? And then
yeah, very common. Very common. Nope. Don't have to be a math whiz to do IT work. No, sir.
Right. And then the other question was about software development. Like if I'm not big into software development and can't see myself as a coder, is this a field that I can still go into?
Yeah.
Kevin did a great job of, talking about the certifications that you can achieve. And so what I want to share with you a little bit is how we can come alongside you at Skillstorm and help you achieve those certifications and help accelerate your career, your tech career. So when you're looking at, the broad scheme of things, Skillstorm, for those of you who don't know, is a technical recruiting agency first and foremost, right? We work with people, like I mentioned, from all walks of life, from people who have been in the industry for years and are looking to further accelerate their career, or for people maybe such as yourself who are looking to get into it for the first time, to break the door down the tech industry. And so we have a number of different programs that we operate under, and if you have any questions about those, I'd be happy to answer those, maybe at a later time, or if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. But what we want to focus on today is a little bit about what we call our Accelerator courses. So our Accelerator courses are perfect for obtaining certifications like the ones that Kevin has shared with you today. So we have courses that are really tailored to people who are trying to increase their hireability or trying to really just get their feet wet in terms of, I really want to get into this industry, but I just don't know where to start. And so that's what we have Accelerator courses for. So these are paid courses that you can take, and at the end of the course, you will be provided a voucher for whichever one of the certifications that you're looking to take, whether that be the A Plus, the Network Plus, or the Security Plus certification. We have some classes starting this Monday. And so basically how it works is the Accelerator courses are programs that we offer that's a mixture of instructor-led and self-paced. And essentially we're coming alongside of you and we're teaching you and walking you through the competencies of how to pass these certifications exams. So Kevin's already shared with you the profitability, the benefit of having these certifications and what they're looking for in terms of what the employers are looking for in the employees that they're looking to hire. And what we want to do is we want to come alongside of you and we want to show you and train you to get these certifications. So you can see here from the slide that there's just a few things that we do, right? We have one-on-one mentorship. Whenever we're looking at the pass rate, it's much higher than people who try to go and pass these certifications with no accountability. So how it works is when I say it's a combination of self-paced and also instructor-led, there are weekly live instruction sessions. Actually, they're probably about 5 times a week, typically an hour daily. It's optional for you to attend those Accelerator course and live instructions, but they will be recorded in the event that you do miss the instruction. That said, there are certain benchmarks that need to be reached on a weekly basis, and so that's accountability. And so what we recommend doing is we recommend watching these and joining often and as often as you can, watching the videos if you don't have the option to join a live feed. And if you don't join the live feed, then you can always go back and look at it. And then there's going to be benchmarks that you need to reach, right? Sometimes they're in the form of discussion posts, sometimes they're in the form of exams. And so what we want to do is we want to provide the opportunity for you to succeed and succeed in the quickest way possible. And again, one of the things I want to point out, if you see the bottom right point on this slide, the updated curriculum, this is one of the things that Kevin was talking about with the certifications as well. One of the benefits of not only how CompTIA operates, but also how Skillstorm operates is we are committed to providing you with a skill set that is relevant to employers. What people don't realize is that there are a lot of people who are ready to get into the industry, ready to get into the tech career, and sometimes they're new grads, sometimes they've just finished a boot camp, and what they don't realize is that maybe the skills that they learned from an institution don't necessarily line up with the skills that employers are looking for. And probably the hardest conversation I have on a weekly basis is to tell a candidate that, unfortunately, the skills that they demonstrated to me are not going to be sufficient for an employer in this market. And one of the biggest benefits of CompTIA certifications and how Skillstorm operates is that we are committed to training relevant skill sets. And so that's one of the biggest benefits of what we do. And so not only are the CompTIA certifications updated, like Kevin said, but they're also, our training is updated, right? These are live sessions. These aren't recorded videos that took place, 10 years ago that we just kind of recycled, right? So I just wanted to, share that with you. I think we have a couple questions. Let me see what we have here. What's the average timeline from studying to getting certified? So that's a great question, Andrew. So for us in these accelerator courses, they last 4 weeks long, right? And so because there's an accountability system set in place, and because we have a time frame set, we give you 4 weeks to learn the skills and competencies that you need. We want you to invest, several hours a week, but again, it's self-paced. You're not required to log on at a particular time. It's at your own pace. And so we do have a 4-week kind of window of the instruction. And then at the end of that, we provide you a voucher to take the examination. So that's a great question, because the average time of studying to getting certified is very different if you decide to study on your own, and it can take, some people put it off for years, to be honest with you. And so one of the benefits of what we do at Skillstorm is the accountability factor of a self-paced training, but also at the same time instructor-led. So these are the 3 courses that we have going on at Skillstorm right now. We have the CompTIA A Plus certification, the Network Plus, and the Security Plus certification. So they're both 4 weeks long. Like I mentioned, they cycle every 2 months, right? And so we have one starting as early as this upcoming Monday. And so if this is something that you find value, if you've kind of listened to this presentation today and you've said, man, I really feel like there's going to be a lot of value for one or multiple of these certifications to add to my career, then we want to encourage you to sign up for one of these courses. Right? Go on our website. I think I have a link that you can go to here. No, I don't. But if you go on our website and you go down to Storm Surge, basically that's going to lead you to the Accelerator course programs. And so what I want you to do is just take a look at those. Veterans receive a 20% discount. If you're a partnering institution, then you could also receive, basically you need to check with the institution. They sometimes will provide discounts as well. But I would definitely encourage you to look into that, because I think it's going to provide a lot of opportunities for you. And I think it's going to accelerate your opportunity to get into the career more quickly and just break into the door. And Kevin, do you have anything to add?
I do want to mention one thing. Most don't think about this. With the pandemic in the last few years, it was only into the last couple of years that if you wanted to come up with a vaccine effective against a novel coronavirus, everybody understood that took 10 years to develop. But yet, when this coronavirus came up a couple of years ago, we had a vaccine in 1 year. How did that happen? Okay, and the unsung heroes of that, it's computing power. Okay, we didn't just magically create legions more PhD level pharmacists, who were able to do crazy amounts of research in the lab and that much more quickly come up with a vaccine. No, it was, in some instances, it was fantastic amounts of computing power. And my point is that there are many IT workers managing, supporting, okay, maintaining fantastic amounts of computer hardware and software, services and support to make all of that go. Okay, let me just bring it around, folks. Okay, getting into IT can not only be just an excellent choice because it's a real career, well-paying jobs, very stable, but you might just luckily find yourself going to work for an organization that truly can make a difference in the world, because IT drives so much innovation across the economy, and you can be a part of that starting with CompTIA A Plus, Network Plus, Security Plus certs.
Right, and I did have a link to the courses, and I appreciate you sharing that, Kevin. So this is the link that you'll want to go to if you're looking to start one of those courses. Again, I just want to say that there's a lot of value in these courses, these certifications, not only in the certifications like Kevin talked about, but also in letting us come alongside of you and helping you prepare you to pass these certifications. There were some questions regarding, are there any grants or funding programs to help pay for these cert fees? Like I mentioned, it depends on the institution that you're affiliated with. It depends on if you're a veteran or not. Like I mentioned, there's a 20% discount for veterans, and then depending on the education system that you're a part of, they may as well offer a discount. Let's see what other question I have. Do we have practice exams prior to the exam? That would be a question for the trainers. I don't believe so, but I think what we do is whenever we have these live interviews, right, we have these live instructions, this is going to cover some of like practice problems. That's one of the things that they're going to be going over. So they're going to be in these live instructions. They're going to go over, the trainers, they'll go over some things that you're going to need to have competency in to pass this exam. And so one of the biggest benefits of the live instruction videos is it's going to give you real life applicability to these are the skills you need to pass this exam. So do we have a formal practice exam? I'm not sure. I can find the answer out to you. Shoot me an email. That way I have a way to contact you and I'll get the answer for you. But even if we don't have a practice exam per se, we'll definitely be giving you the competencies in that live instruction, and there'll be demonstrations and they'll be asking you questions that are going to be very comparable to what you're going to see on the actual certification. Let's see.
And I'll just quickly mention again, a couple 100,000 each and every year successfully prepare for and sit and pass CompTIA certification exams. You can do it, okay? And you'll be right in there with tens of thousands of others, right? And this year in and year out, it can be done. It's going to be taking some work. It's going to take some time. You got to give it your dedication and focus. Yes, just like with anything else in life that's worth doing. Okay, but it's done every day of the year by many, and you can do it too.
Absolutely. Guys, I want to include my contact information. I have a slide up here for that. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can give me a call, leave me a voicemail. Probably best way to reach me is by email, and I'll get back with you with whatever questions that you might have. And one of the biggest things of what we do is we just hold your feet to the fire. We give you accountability. We give you the skills needed to achieve those certifications. And so we feel like it would provide a lot of value to you. And so we really encourage you to check it out and let us know if you have any questions. So guys, we appreciate your time. Thanks, Kevin, for hopping on here and giving us some information about the CompTIA certifications. And, maybe we'll do this again sometime.
Happy to do so. Seth, I've enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.